We're talking about quick kills. We're talking about wrist locks, heel hooks, doing ankle locks instead of learning how to pass the guard. That's what's happening today. What do you say about that, Ron?
AKA prison rules.
Prison rules, baby.
So that's what we're talking about. So welcome to OpenMatChronicles, another great episode for you guys lined up. I'm 1865 Rod. I'm a black belt under Gustavo Enriquez, training out of Infinite Jiu-Jitsu, Rockland, California. As always, shout out NorCal, baby. Schaefer, what you got?
So my name's Harold Schaefer. I am a black belt under John Hassett from Hassett Jiu-Jitsu out in South Jersey. If you ever get out to South Jersey, go visit them. You'll like it. Hassett's Jiu-Jitsu. Sounds like an ad. So
this video is sponsored by Hassett Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. So I've been training for pushing on 23 years. Love it. This is great. It's my only martial art that I really fell in love with, and I'm going to do this until I probably drop dead on the mat.
Till the wheels fall off.
Till the wheels fall off. Absolutely. Yeah, man. So
we're talking about quick kills. Like, what do you? Okay, so let's just set it up. I'll put some context to it. You know, you can do a wrist lock, wham, fight's over, right?
Love it.
Ankle lock, wham, fight's over. Heel hook, wham, fight's over. So, what are your thoughts on quick kills? I know there's pros and cons, right? So some people say, well, it's you're cheating in a way, right? That was big back then when the ankle lock first came out. It's not so much anymore. That we're kind of past that because now you actually have to control the whole joint to get it. But that's going to be their argument, Harold, is that, oh, you didn't have to control my whole body. You just wrist lock me. So go ahead, let's run with that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I like that you point out back in the day, the Gracies, they weren't really big on lower extremity attacks, right? So you used to get a bunch of Luther Libre guys. We get that Brazilian wrestling stuff going on, and they would catch them in like ankle locks and heel hooks and knee bars, and they called them all what? Leg locks. It doesn't matter what it was.
Yeah, it leg. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what part of the leg they locked. It's just a leg lock. So. Go ahead.
Now, wasn't that there was a split though? Wasn't Carlos Gracie was cool with it, right?
Yes. Well,
there was like a Helio.
Yeah, I believe they became cool with it. So it was like he kind of embraced the sports aspect of jiu-jitsu.
Got it.
Yeah, because back in the day it was like you have to control every part of the body before it's positioned before submission.
Yep.
Which I still personally do adhere to. I really believe that. But damn. Quick kills, man, they can be fun. So I love the wrist lock. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm just a wrist locking machine, right? And I got that from Johnny. John Hassett wrist locked the shit out of me. I remember him catching me one time, completely isolating both my hands and double wrist locking me. And I had to yell out tap with my feet or something. It was crazy. But then I found out that, the Megler Reese brothers were the wrist lock guys who were teaching John the wrist locks, who then taught me the wrist locks. And then I'm teaching everybody the wrist locks. I'm like, wow, this is like.
So I wonder where they got it from, though. Like, he keeps going.
Shit.
What if it's Carlos?
Somewhere. Probably.
He started.
So these quick kills, right? They're considered cheating or cheap moves by a lot of people because. You're out here, you're rolling, you're doing your thing, you're getting all kinds of fancy shit, and then out of nowhere, a guy just goes, "Oh, well, if you didn't want to get wrist locked, you shouldn't have touched me." And then it just fold your arm, goosenecks your wrist, and it's like, that's it.
Fight's over.
And they hit fast, man.
Yeah, you can't say tap.
Wrist lock, you can't even say
that's
tap.
The one sub.
You go, ah!
Yeah.
You just yell because they hit so fast, and they don't even hurt that bad, right?
It scares you though. It's like
it's scary. Yeah, it is. You're like, holy shit! If he actually were to just jam down on this, I'd have to learn how to wipe my ass with my feet. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like this guy's he's gonna cripple me. It's crazy. So, which is one of my threats I used to always throw out there to I was in corrections and I used to have these jokers. Some of the inmates were like, "Oh, yo, Schaefer, what would you do if blah blah blah? What if I ran up on you?" I'm like, dude, I'd take you to the ground, I'd break both your wrists, and I'd teach you how to wipe your ass with your feet. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, they did like it because they're like, damn, man, you sound like you really believe that shit. I'm like, I do believe it.
And you don't believe it.
You don't believe it too. So then you got the heel hooks. You got the ankle lock. Now, you're a heel hooking machine, personally. Heel hooking white belts.
Oh, no. Hey, only in no gi. It's all fair in love and war, right?
All fair. I'll come back to the wrist locks. Tell us a little bit about your adventures in heel hooking.
Okay, so I remember like when I first started as a white belt, I probably had a good like 4 stripes at the time. So remember we were doing a 6-stripe system, so I had a little ways to go. So I had 4 stripes on me. It's pretty proficient, but I remember Gus one day taught. He goes, "I'm going to teach you guys how to bring a gun to a knife fight." And it was a leg lock. It's just a basic leg lock. And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh my god, that's so amazing, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I really
like the heavens parted.
Yeah. Like, what is this new information you've been withholding from me all these years? And it was awesome. So I really got into leg locks. And for a while there, even like for a couple of years, I was just leg lock. But I don't know. Looking back, though, I think it might have stunted my development a little bit because that's all I was doing was like I was trying to get taps in the school. I wasn't trying to really I wasn't consciously making these connections, but I don't think I was trying to. King of practice, basically. Yeah, I had a bad rep for that, right? So I wasn't really trying to get better in the sport by being better in jiu-jitsu, but I was trying to just get more taps, and that actually holds you back. And a lot of the guys that train, like David Henson, shout out to Henson, he's like, "Rod, stop trying to leg lock everybody. Stop trying to leg lock." And I finally listened one day, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try." So I stopped trying to do it, and then I started getting better.
So that is without a doubt a serious, true statement.
Yeah.
I think that when people start to learn all these shortcut moves, and I do believe they are shortcut moves, they're totally legitimate moves. They are effective ways to disable an opponent, but they are shortcut moves. A lot of times when people start training, they'll actually put themselves in very vulnerable positions because they're reaching out and they're grabbing. They're doing things that work great when it's jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
But then if you were just to say, okay, let me make this as realistic as possible, minus a knife or a gun or a rock or, a baseball bat. It's just mano a mano. It's going to be these two guys are going to fight. And when they start fighting, anything's allowed.
Yeah.
Well, when you say that, right, when anything's allowed, it gets crazy because now you're like, oh, I can eye gouge, I can bite, I can do all this other crap. Sure. Jiu-jitsu actually neutralizes those things very well because you do maintain control of people's limbs. You control where their hands are, where their head is. What do you say? You control the head.
You control the body.
Yeah,
like a horse.
So, yeah, exactly. Like moving a horse. So it takes into account a lot of these things like, oh, well, I would just bite him, or I'd kick him in the balls. It's like, yeah, that sounds great. But when I'm holding you down and I'm shoving your face off into one direction, you're probably not going to be able to bite me.
Yeah.
You can't reach my eyes because I'm damn way off to your side, or God forbid, I'm behind you. So you're not going to do that. You're like, well, I'll just bite his arm. You bite my arm, I'll break your neck.
That just pisses you off.
Yeah, it's like, give me a break.
Disable you.
And you won't be disabled from it.
Yeah. But that's a default answer.
But when he reaches up and you're like, oh, man, he's doing this and he's got this move and he feels safe. But then you've left your entire arm out in front of me.
Yeah.
And I control your elbow. I control your wrist. I hit it like an accordion and it snaps. Well, yeah, you've just lost the fight.
Yeah.
What do we always tell people? Beginning classes. Okay, when you have someone's back, you've got rear mount. What do you not do with your feet?
Cross your feet.
Don't cross your feet. You're like,
don't
what?
Cross your feet.
You're like, well, wait a minute. I'm whooping his ass. I got his back. I'm about to slap this choke on him. I've got total control. Then you cross your feet. You're like, You're like, don't do it. Don't
break my ankle.
And then boom, he hits that fucking shit. Ankle's about to snap up like a freaking twig.
Yeah.
It's weird, simple little things that can just render you useless in a fight.
It's weird because like you would think that crossing your feet would make sense, right? Because closed guard, you cross your feet. So everybody does that right out of the gate, right? But when you do that when you have somebody's back, you're definitely susceptible to the leg lock. Yeah,
a lot of things are counterintuitive in jiu-jitsu. It's like you think, damn, that shit makes sense. Nah, it doesn't make sense. So back to stunting people's growth.
Man, so I do think that and that might have been one of the reasons why Gus held me back, because like I was really good at leg locking people and I would tap people out. I would get high level people, but my overall grappling, I don't think it was where it needed to be. So as a result, I ended up sitting on like my blue and my purple for a minute.
You were short circuiting the system.
I kind of was.
You were like, okay,
I found a hack.
The path. Right, you found a hack. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like I can walk this path, and it'll take this long to get a tap because I'm going to have to learn how to pass the guard and then maintain this control.
Exactly.
Or I can just sit back real quick on my ass, grab his ankle, twist it up a little bit. Now there's a heel hook. He yells.
That's true.
And if that white belt didn't want to get crippled, he shouldn't have showed up. Put his
Oh
feet
my
in your
gosh,
face.
I'm not that bad. But
You're not that bad.
no, but think of. I mean, there is a reason. I don't know. It's like, I guess if you do that all the time and you're really proficient at it, then it will work, right? It will work,
Absolutely.
and you'll be good at it. So, but what if you just kept on that path? Maybe you wouldn't need to develop all this. Like, think about it.
And that's
the argument, right?
The freaking argument. It's
I'm just a great leg locker.
Freaking Paul Harris, dude.
Oh yeah,
here's the thing.
Phil Harris, whatever.
But
he's mean.
Yeah, he's great at freaking heel hooks, right? But he is also a complete grappler. People miss that.
Yes.
People forget that part, right? They go, holy shit, he was ripping ankles or he's ripping knees out of place and blah, blah. He was, because he's really good at a heel hook. But he could still get to it. You know what I mean? He could still fight his way to that. So one of the moves, right? I love it's a dragon spike. It's an ankle lock, but it's like almost a backwards kind of ankle lock. You know, normally your ankle lock, if the foot's on this side, the hand goes to the same side. If the foot goes into my right armpit, my right arm,
and you're gonna fall to that side.
I'll fall to the right. Yeah, there's my ankle lock. I love going opposite
the other side. Yeah.
So it's like, if the foot's in my right armpit, I'm taking my left hand, I'm cutting across, then I'm going to this rear naked choke grip on the ankle. I can put so much freaking pressure and just shoot pain like you've never seen. Pain. You can just shoot it all through this guy's body, and you can do it easily. And a lot of times, when somebody likes to do a standing guard passes and all.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes I smack myself when I go into the bathroom. I was like, damn it, I should have never taught these fuckers this. But I do it anyway. So they're like, well, wait a minute. If I'm doing a standing guard pass and he puts his feet up on my hips,
why can't I just
do it? Why do I need the pass? I'll just hit him with that dragon bite move. And I'm like, yeah.
You know what happens?
Yeah, you're right.
It does. I think you're right. They'll get it. They'll win a minute. But then the next time, like, okay, I'm not going to leave my foot out, right? So then pretty soon the whole school is wise to it. And then you have a guy that really hasn't developed his guard passing.
Correct.
You know?
So you were kicking everybody's ass. You were king of practice for like a month. You're like, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm beating white belts' asses in here, right? I'm the best white belt that's ever been born.
Yeah.
What's your name? I don't know. We don't know.
Exactly.
That's white belt. Who cares? But they're really doing themselves a disservice because they found a hack.
Yep.
They found a way to get around actually learning good jiu-jitsu basics.
Yeah.
So they're kicking ass. They're doing these moves. It looks cool. It's fun. They're going to catch a blue belt. They're going to catch a purple belt. Shit, this is crazy.
I got it.
Why do I need to practice?
I'm already good.
I was born with this.
Yeah,
right?
I'm special.
You know what I mean? It's like maybe she was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
That's old. Damn,
we're old. Anyway.
Okay, well, let me throw this out there. Okay, so now one thing has changed though. Okay, so back in the day too, the leg locks back then were more predicated on like speed and just like grabbing it and snatching it, where now it's not, because people are savvy now. Now it is control. You have to get the position, you have to get the right, you have to control it. There's I wouldn't say a leg lock now is even a hack move now of today. I'd say back then, a decade ago, yes.
I mean, I believe when people started doing like 411s and then,
now
when your boy Ryan Hall started hitting like these 50-50 guards. It's
a lot of work to get to.
Massive amount of control.
Yes.
And you would lock somebody in place.
Lock them in.
And it's just like,
now it's legit. You
cripple them at will.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I got you.
Yeah.
And it's for you to recognize how bad of a position you're in.
But I saw it evolve though, because I remember people would do straight leg locks. They'd be straight up. Right, and then people would start climbing up, and that's why they started falling to the shoulder right here, the outside shoulder, because you can't really just jump up anymore. Absolutely. You got the foot out there, so that there's a reason leg locks evolved the way they did. They evolved because of out of necessity. Because if the old days, watch any old like Ken Shamrock, bro, they're just falling, they're just muscling, There's no nuance at all. They're just, but he still got it though. Like you look at it, rip your leg out. They didn't know what they're doing, right?
They're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And you're like, oh shit, my leg. I better tap before something rips off.
Exactly. Now you got like Mikey locks and all this fancy stuff. So it is, it is crazy.
Well, so, okay.
But you do need an element of control before you can actually get into your submission with the leg locks now.
So now I will do my old school half sit and press one, and I'll go name drop. So John Battle, this kid, right? When whenever you do a name drop, you snap and you kind of drop right there. This kid, he was a monster. He is a monster, and he's a black belt right now out there in South Jersey. Also, I remember him. He showed up. He was like maybe 12.
South Jersey or North Jersey?
No, he's in South Jersey. Oh. Yeah, he was like 12 or 13 years old. It was him. It was Andrew Richardson. He's a guy who's out here now. MMA guy. And he trained with what's that guy, Uriah Faber and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And then and Joe Selecki, another name drop. So another UFC guy. Who, all these guys were like 12, 13 years old when they came on the scene. And I'm an old ass man already, and I'm trying to fight them, and I'm just like watching them get better and better and better. So John Battle, this kid, he's slapping rear naked chokes and triangles. He was like the triangle guy, right? And something clicked, and he started doing heel hooks, and he got so damn dangerous, right? And he was in EBI. He was in
nice.
Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Yeah. Oh, that's a right.
And I'm like, venue for that, shit, dude. I'm like, this guy is freaking dangerous, right? Man, I would love to actually get him on. We're gonna talk about that guy. So. John Battle. Because he's got the best name.
That's just a cool name, John Battle.
So he had a sponsorship.
Is that his real name or is that
no, dude? That's his whole.
His name is Battle.
His name is Battle.
That's awesome.
And he actually
that's crazy.
There was this jujitsu soap called Battle Soap. It was like an anti-microbial.
I know what that is. Yeah,
dude, they sponsored him. I was like, holy shit, that makes perfect sense. And then I think there was like a gi, like a battle gi or something. Like, dude, he was getting anything that had his last name on it. He was killing it.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, I digress. So, but he made that change to Quick Kills, and man, it was legit. Like, if you go back and just pull the kid up, watch a bunch of his old YouTube videos. Like, he was a prolific freaking leg locker, triangler, but competitor.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was in there, I remember from purple to black, he was just on it, constantly competing. Pretty badass. Yeah, so should you learn all these moves? Of course. Should you rely on them so heavily that you forego learning how to pass the guard? Absolutely not. You are going to find yourself, in a bad position, because some people know how to counter these things. And then, like you were saying, if you're gonna have that guy who's gonna get 1 month where he's kicking ass, right? And he's on top of the world, and then everybody knows his game, and they're going like, "Oh man, this is bullshit. You're not gonna catch me with this. I'm not going to let you get to this position." Right?
Facts.
And
see, I was in deep because I did that for years, leg lock. So I had to go to rehab.
Dude, I remember every time I roll with you, like, it got to the point where I'm like, okay, all right, he's fucking dangerous. I know this is here. But like, I would go to a Z guard, you would stand up, and I'm like, here comes the backstep. I'm like, he's going to backstep and attack my legs. And dude, that's the only reason I started like dodging that shit, because I was like,
stop. I don't even backstep anymore. I just stopped it. It's like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, because
now I do slide through.
So easy, and that's the other thing, right? Sometimes these moves,
you get bored.
You get bored.
Yeah,
because you're like, I can catch damn near anybody in this, so I don't really do it anymore.
Yeah, you're not like driven to do it anymore.
Yeah,
like
I'm not. You're lazy, and then you're like, fuck.
But you know what helped me, honestly? What I started doing was I made a commitment. I said, okay, I'm gonna just, whenever I do the gi, because we do like 1 week gi, 1 week no gi. So when I do the gi, no leg locks at all. That was my thing. I was like, I'm going to only try to just pass guard. And that really helped a lot. So like, the leg locks are off the table. Now they can leg lock me. I don't care, because it'll help my defense, right? Okay. But I'm not going to try to do leg locks unless the guy's stupid. He leaves it there and it's like, he's trying to beat me up or something. Then I'm going to take it. But other than that, I'm not going to initiate an attack.
Nice.
I still do that to this day.
And side note, we're definitely going to have a cast about structuring your jiu-jitsu classes, because the gi on, gi off, 1 week, and then also timeline for how long do you run a specific move. I know we
talked about that.
We were talking about that.
Yeah,
and we actually had a really good conversation, and it's something we've talked about before, and it's something we definitely want to have a podcast, and I want to pick some other people's brains with that one.
Yeah,
because that would be a really good one. Anywho, what else is actually important? So tequila is important. So I don't have a beer today, so I didn't bring a beer, but I did make a tasty beverage. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm having my
shout out to tequila.
Shout out to tequila.
Okay, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Okay, so what constitutes a quick kill? Because I'm looking at look at a leg lock or no, let's say like an ankle lock or even a heel hook or the wrist lock.
Yeah.
It's the small joint. So is a small joint what makes it
It's usually a small joint. I mean, some people go, oh well, flying armbar is a quick kill, but that's not what we're speaking about, right? We're talking about opportunistic attacks.
Yeah.
It's like it's sitting there and you're like, the guy's elbows on the ground. Oops, bad for you. Pop. You just grab it and you fold it up. It's like, oh yeah, his foot's in my face. Take it, bow. Take it home.
Now I will say this. Okay, this is full transparency. I still do wrist locks but here's the difference. I'll do a wrist lock if I have control. Let's say I have an arm bar.
Yeah.
Right, and the guy's fighting it, and he's got the grip right here. I'll just wrist lock it, and he'll make him. Even if I don't get the wrist lock, it'll threaten him enough to let it go. Right.
So,
or if I omoplata, you ought to see my omoplata. Hey, go to my short.
Oh shit! Look at
this. It is hilarious. It's so bad.
Sorry, Uso.
Sorry. Shout out to Uso. We love you, Uso, man. It was nothing. It just happened. It was
good. It was a good wrist lock.
But you need to see the YouTube short on why wrist locks go bad or something like that. It's pretty funny. But actually, that's a case where I would do a wrist lock. If the guy's getting a froggy and he's coming out.
So I remember we had one of our guys. He doesn't train with us anymore. I think he moved on, but he went to a competition. He was purple or brown at the time, and I was like, yo. I said, listen, man, if this fool turtles up, if he does this, if he does that, if you're fighting if you're fighting your ass off trying to muscle out an arm bar or something like that, I was like, just chill, stop.
Yeah.
I was like, just finish the move real quick. Just grab him, wrist lock him, take the win.
Yeah.
Because, look, you paid money to win this gold. I was like, so just get your win, dude. I was like, if it
competition's
it's different.
Yeah, none of this relates to a competition. You take that quick kill.
Competition. Take the quick kill, man.
I'm talking about
if you're gonna be dicking around and this guy's gonna be fighting, he's like, I'm not gonna let you take my arm, but I can just bend your wrist and I still get the gold. Guess what? I'm going home with a gold. You going home with an achy wrist.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And then they're like, "Oh, you're cheating. I hate it here."
Now I got another one for you. Okay, here's another way that I will use them. Okay, because obviously I'm getting older, right? So I'm fighting these.
Definitely getting
old, right?
I'm getting old too, but I mean you're old.
I'm old.
Yeah, you're old. But
still holding up.
You're strong.
I still hit that. Yeah.
Strong. Well, strong. We're gonna show the people. We're gonna show the people. We're not gonna tell them.
We ain't talking.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Daddy too. That's crazy. I need to get some gear. Damn. No, but check it out. So here's what happened. Getting older, your body just doesn't move quite as well. Maybe slow down a little bit, right? So what I'll do is, if I'm rolling with somebody now, maybe I'll put my energy in. I'll try to pass a guard. Okay, cool. It could be a good blue belt or purple belt. This young cat's 20-something years old. Holy crap, it's hard, right?
Give him that first 3 minutes.
Give him that first 3 minutes, right? Now, if I can't pass it, then I'll throw the leg locks in. Then I'll start doing. That's how I use them now, right?
That's only if you want to freaking finish.
Yeah, and I'm usually just trying to just roll and let it, That's another topic.
I like the flow. There's so many times when I can see a wrist lock or I can see.
Yeah, but you don't want to take it.
And I don't even take it. I'm just like.
Or you just catch it and you look at him and
I'll grab it and I'm like, and if he doesn't react, I'm like, oh, I definitely let it go. If I grab and you don't try to fight your way out, that means you don't even see what's coming.
Yeah.
Just catch and release, man. It's like, what am I trying to prove? I'm not trying to be the king of practice. I get nothing out of this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'd rather enjoy the roll, keep the roll going, and test myself trying to keep up with some young, super athletic purple belt who I just know that I can't really keep
then
up
try
with.
to get him. Oh, I tapped you.
Right. I finish you real quick?
Yeah.
Boom, I got
Stupid.
you. Bow to your sensei. No, man. I'd rather just have fun and, just keep the party going. Just keep the party going. And I think there was one other thing I was going to say about. Oh, I do remember. Here we go. See, it's all about getting old and shit, right? My mind's fucking turning to mush. So the other beautiful thing about when people do play that stupid I'm king of practice game for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes everybody else kind of learn that shit. I have a saying, it's just like it's my fucking saying or something. There's a saying that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Right? So if I'm getting better and I'm catching you and I'm catching other people and I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
I got it. But I share it because I don't try to hoard or hide moves. I share it and say, hey, look, here's
So
your
funny.
counter, here's this, here's that. That means you're getting better.
Yeah.
Right? So now, yes, I got better and I had this thing, but now you're better and he's better and she's better and everybody's
Exactly.
better. And I can't use this thing anymore.
Exactly.
It's still there. It's a
there.
legitimately dangerous freaking weapon. But you guys, you know that shit's coming.
Yeah.
And it's now ineffective. That means I have to get better again.
Exactly.
Right? So that rising tide, that water, it's lifting all of us together. I get better, which makes you better, and you're getting better, which has to make me get better, so that you can get better. It's synergistic, man. It's an infinite freaking loop. It's like infinite jujitsu.
Infinite jujitsu.
Go figure, right?
You know, it's funny you said that because, like, I don't know when this happened, but at some point, like, do you do this? Like, if you catch a guy in a submission, right? I always say, okay, well, this is what you did wrong. This is how I caught you. Like, when did that happen? Maybe it's a black belt.
That's another
episode.
Topic we were talking about.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I would never have done that before. I would have like,
okay. Just as a quick highlight to that, right? So I know Hassett and myself and my boy JP, another name drop. So all these guys, right? When we started teaching like a rear naked choke, right? Boom, okay, you got your rear naked choke. But the rear naked choke escape, right? You have to fall to a certain side.
Yeah.
So what we started doing, this mainly John first, because I think he did this when he was teaching me the rear naked choke escape. He would point in the direction you need to fall. So he would wrap the choke up.
Oh, that's nice.
But then he would be pointing as he's choking me where I should be falling, right? And that's how we learned our defense, right? But here's the thing. Repetition burns muscle memory in.
Yeah.
We were getting to the point where when we're fighting, even if we didn't want to tell somebody how to get out, we would slap a rear naked choke and point. So we would be pointing against our opponents, say, hey, fall this way.
Yeah.
And it just happened so much that it just became how we did it. So we had to break our habit out of that shit.
We kind of do that. That's the way we teach it here. Is like it's just the arm that goes over. That arm is the one that's pointing.
But
basically.
we
were actually pointing. You were basically legitimately pointing. Okay,
fall this way.
Oh, wait, no, that.
And we did so much that it just became habit. We would actually point. So people would go, oh shit, that way.
Yeah.
And then we go, oh shit, now we got to fight. We got to get out of it. But that was the rising tide.
Right. That's all boats. It's harder for you to get it.
Exactly.
You got to get better.
I showed you how to get out of it. So now I got to figure some other shit and get you in that.
The one-handed rear naked.
That one-handed. Oh boy, that Adam's family. Remember I was at
the thing.
Thing. Thing's the little hand.
The little hand that would crawl. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah,
is that thing?
Yeah.
What's the one with the fucking fur?
I don't remember a fur one. I remember the little hand. It was a thing.
There's Uncle Fester. There was
a fur guy, but the thing is the hand guy for sure. I'm pretty sure. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong.
Yeah, man. Was the thing?
That's my era, dude. I should know. You got to trust me, man.
I was there too.
Yeah, you're really.
I was a little bit younger. All right, yeah. I think thing is the fucking hand. Anyway, I think you're right. But my one-handed rear naked choke.
That's tight.
That shit.
It's funny. A lot of guys don't know that.
I love it.
A lot of guys don't know that one.
You know what's crazy? I have not ever in my entire life created a single fucking thing. Everything I have came from freaking North Jersey or South Jersey. It came from people that I trained with. It came from people that we talk about. And when I came here, I absolutely like the Dragon's Bite.
Oh, yeah.
That's all Gustavo.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That's all Gustavo. But he learned it from somewhere else.
He did, yes.
It's like, it's almost a modified...
it goes back to the crazy. It probably does.
Yeah, there's it all goes back to like some...
Carlos and Helio.
Roman Empire where they're just freaking throwing people out to the gladiator. And people break each other out.
That's true.
Holy shit. There was a whole lot of talking.
That was about kill. So what's your final thought? Final thought on quick kills? Yay or nay?
Yay. You gotta learn them.
Gotta learn them. But don't get obsessed with them, right?
Right. Have temperance.
Yeah.
Learn to slow that shit down. Don't look for shortcuts all the time.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes, man, that long road, was it the road less traveled?
The road less traveled. That was a good
one.
one.
The road less traveled is the way you want to go. You need to actually, you have to suffer sometimes. You have to suffer because the suffering builds you. It makes you stronger.
Yeah.
it shows you what you can actually take. You know, especially in like in a combat sport or in a martial art, there is a degree of suffering that has to be had
Exactly.
in order for you to be good at it.
Yep.
You don't just get to walk into this shit. You know what I'm saying? If it was easy, it would be.
We're close.
I'm not gonna say. If it was easy, it'd be something else. But this is not.
Yeah.
Learn to suffer. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Right?
Yeah.
And then you make sure you get out there and you train. You do the damn thing. You do better. Be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
Just keep getting better. Chin used to always say,
get a little bit better every day.
1%. He's like 1%. Every time I show up, I just want 1% better.
Yeah, that's a good.
I
That's
like
a good
that.
force. Yeah.
And you'll do that because if it's important to you, you'll find a way, right? If it's not, you'll find a fucking excuse. Absolutely.
I think we covered everything, huh?
We covered everything.
So do your quick kills. Do your quick kills. Just don't get obsessed with them. Don't stunt your development.
Yeah,
right?
Don't be a fucking cheater.
Don't be king. You know, it all goes back to ego, king of practice. It all ties back to ego. At the end of the day, if you don't have an ego, you're actually going to get better. You have to have a little bit of an ego, but not a healthy ego, though, not an unhealthy ego, right?
Right. So don't get so upset that you fucking ball your gi up and throw it across the room and run out and you curse everybody.
Shout out. It's up there, man.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Don't be.
This guy's better than me. I quit. So anyway.
All right. You're trying to drag us back in.
Let's stay on.
Oh, wait. Remember the whole Godfather? I was out.
Oh, yeah.
And then he pulled me back.
Exactly. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right,
fellas. On that note, hey, if you like the video, hit subscribe, or share it. Share it out. Let's kind of spread this around.
Share it. We're getting very nice responses. And thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Seriously, thank you, because I'll be at a bar and I'm like, yo, that shit was great.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Awesome. Thank you.
So we appreciate you.
We appreciate it greatly.
Yes. And we are out of here on that. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.